Doing it. Thanks so much for coming out on Sunday. It's Easter. I think we're the only ones downtown. I think these are all the people that are downtown. I don't know if you were out there. Terrifying. Everything was shut down. I tried to get lunch and the city was like, no. And I was like, wow, how many people are coming to the show? And I showed up, I'm like, all right, 40 atheists. That's who we're working with. Thank you so much for coming. This is so good. This has been my first full weekend in Cleveland, and it's nice. No one tells you Cleveland's nice. I've just found out. But being here, I walked around all weekend. I'm like, this is nice. How come no one's saying it? Like, I'm not trying to let some big cat out of the bag, but like around the country, like I left San Diego and they're like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm working in Cleveland this weekend. They just kind of give me a look where I'm like, should I be worried or something? And I've been walking around like, it's nice. I feel like everyone else in the country needs to come and visit and see, you know? I feel like everyone's just, you know, kind of being like, yeah, this guy tried to start a clap, and he's like, right? Yeah. This guy works for the Cleveland Tourism Board, and he's like, this is exactly the kind of spokesperson we need. It's like, from people's facial reactions to telling them I was going to Cleveland, I was just expecting, I don't know, like a woman driving a car and smoking in it, with the windows rolled up, and just like kids in the back, and that was my only assumption of Cleveland. And I'm like, I guess that's what Cleveland is. And I showed up, I'm like, what even? It's nice. I love live sports. I very much love baseball stadiums. And this is the home of the Cleveland Indians. For now, it's going to be the Cleveland baseball team, I think, in about 4 weeks. Until they come up with another name. We'll see. But there's no game today, and I don't even think they'd let people in if there was. But look how beautiful this park is. I'm used to San Diego. We just tore down Qualcomm Stadium, and that was a hunk of junk stadium, even from when I was a kid, because it was built in like the 50s or something, the 60s. But when was this built? Do you know?
This one, I think, so Municipal Stadium is the one that you're talking about where they were throwing the bottles at everybody. So like that was baseball and football
they
together.
had the baseball diamond on the field while they're playing football.
So this, I want to say, it was like right when they brought them back. So that would have had to have been early 2000s.
Okay.
And they've done some renovations to it. Like this scoreboard is only a couple years old.
It's all video screens.
Yeah.
That's every stadium now. It's just like, how many video screens can we get on everything? It looks brand new.
Yeah, it's a great stadium. And I mean, there's not a bad seat in the house either. Like if you're all the way at the top, it's just like, and you get tickets through work and stuff like that, so you get to sit in different spots, and everywhere in there is a perfect spot.
Yeah, this is the Cleveland Browns Stadium. This is where they break the hearts of the people in the city. Up until recently.
Last year.
Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm supposed to hate this place. But the Steelers have won so much that I'm actually rooting for the Browns. I'm like, come on, man. Get yourselves a ring, you know? Join the club.
Join the club.
That's kind of one of the things that's changed about me. I've watched the Steelers win 2 Super Bowls, and if they never win another Super Bowl for the rest of my life, I'm good. I'm not one of those people that's like, we need a new GM. Like, we had our time. You know, Cleveland needs a ring. That's the most embarrassing part of the trip right there. Just messing with you. Tell them the story. You ran out of socks.
I packed one pair of socks too short. So I think I just doubled up on a day when I wasn't supposed to. And then when I went to the Target, because it's Easter, happy Easter, I went to the Target, they didn't have any socks and they weren't open. And then I went to the Giant Eagle next door, and the line was out the door for people trying to get Easter food, so I was going to be late. so now I just have to go.
So now we have to walk around Cleveland with a physical therapist. Walking around in Crocs. This is excellent. That's exactly what we want.
I'm a hero. These are the shoes of heroes now.
As people walked by, I could feel the vibe. They're like, we kind of want to kick his ass. Ray's from here. The host is from here. So we walked around today, and every time I looked at something nice, he would tell me something bad about it. Like he couldn't even lie. Like we were went to the ballpark, and then from there I could see like the river, the Cuyahoga River. I'm like, man, that's a nice river. And they're like, yeah, one time that river was so polluted it caught on fire. Twice? Good God. And he's like, don't worry, there's like a brewery that now has a type called like Burning River Brewing, and so they turned it into something positive. And I'm like, okay, well that happened back in the day, you know. And then we went over to the stadium and like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then there's Lake Erie. And I'm like, man, it's a nice lake. Can you swim in it? He goes, sometimes. Every once in a while you can take a dip, but you gotta check the news because sometimes there's toxic algae in the water. And I was like, come again? He's like, yeah, we get runoff from farms, and there's pesticide in there, and it causes an algae that will make you very sick. And I was like, okay. And slowly that image of the lady smoking with the windows up started coming back in my head. And I was like, I think it's nice. I'm here. I'm not a swimmer, so I don't care. That's the part of Cleveland no one tells you about. There's a pimp over there just juggling. It's been a long 12 months. I feel like everyone tried. I honestly do. I feel like everyone gave it their shot, you know? I think everyone did their best. It's been hard for me because I've been traveling to different states, and every state kind of does it different. We're not on a national game plan. I think they tried that a year ago. Like, let's do a national, and then everyone's like, no. Let's let every state do what they want. And then even within the state, let's let every city do what they want. And so it's hard on me because like sometimes like San Diego is very strict, mask up, you know? And then I worked in Florida and they just pretend that's not happening. Honestly, I was in Florida and I wore a mask and everyone just looked at me like I had it. That's how they looked at me. They're like, that's why he's wearing the mask, he got it. That's why, stay away from him. I don't trust him. They just looked at me like I was wearing a bicycle helmet in the 90s. Just like, oh man, this guy's a wuss. His mother doesn't have health insurance. That's why he's got to wear a helmet while riding a bike. So Florida was like all just wide open, and they peer pressured me into taking my mask off. Like I was doing the show, and afterwards I was like, I told people on stage like, yeah, I'll take a picture with you, but you know, if we could socially distance, I gotta keep my mask on. And they almost booed me. And then when I got out there, this lady walks up to me, she goes, take that damn thing off. And the way she said it, I did it. I'm a 33-year-old man. I thought I'd stand up for my morals and my rights, but she said it in a way, I was like, yes ma'am. And then I just took them out over there, and I was like, damn it, man. I wish I had a stronger constitution, but I don't, you know. You know those people that always stand up for their rights and their beliefs? I could have swore that Cleveland was a Native American name because I don't know anything. And their baseball team's called the Indians. But it was, I think it was a white guy named Moses. Moses Cleveland. These are war monuments here in Cleveland. The other one showed some people like getting a cannon ready. And I think this one shows off the alcohol issues in the military. Yeah, things are good at home. We just moved into a new place. I got the Ring doorbell system because my girlfriend's never lived like in a house. She always lived in like a condo where you have to like go through many locks to get to the front door. She's like, I'm not gonna feel safe when you're gone. So I got the Ring doorbell system. I don't know if you guys have it. We spent $800 on a 3-camera shoot. High definition footage of me just coming home. That's all we've got. I get a notification every time I walk through the gate, and then a second one as soon as the key hits the door, and it's a buzz. And the only thing on the video is just me yelling at my phone going, it's me! $800? You can't learn my face? It's me. And then it also comes with an app, a social media app called the Neighborhood app. And that's where people post videos of crimes happening. And that's when I learned that the Ring doorbell doesn't stop any crimes at all. I don't think it's ever stopped a crime in the history of its existence. You just get really good footage of it. You don't have to sit around going, who the hell stole my garden hose? Oh, it's that guy that I'll never see again in my life. And people post it. They're like, this guy stole my Amazon package. It's just some dude walking up and taking the box, look right into the camera like, And they have the audacity to post the image of their face going, do you know this man? Does anyone? No, no one knows that guy. Who the hell knows somebody that steals Amazon packages? If you know somebody that does that, you probably also do that. You're involved in the racket. You're not gonna snitch. I've been doing what everyone's been doing, just at home. I've noticed I'm out of touch. You notice that? This is like the first year I figured that out. I watched the Grammys a couple weeks ago. Did you guys watch that? I watched it all, 3 hours with my girlfriend. We just went back and forth going, who's that? And then the other person went, I don't know. We just did that for 3 hours. I don't know. I used to know everybody, and now I'm like, who's that guy? Why does he have bunny ears on a beanie? And why is he crying? That's such an odd look. It's wild. And then I watched the Cardi B performance. That was one person I did know. And she came out, she did a song with Megan Thee Stallion, who I didn't know who that was before. I was like, oh, Megan, that sounds like a UFC fighter. I don't know who. Megan Thee Stallion, 33 knockouts, you know? I didn't know who she was until I watched the performance, and now I'll never forget, okay? I don't know if you guys watched that performance. Good Lord. If you didn't watch it, it was, I'll sum it up, it was glittery butt cheeks. That's what it was. It just came out, and I was entranced. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm like, what is happening? I was like on an acid trip, just like in and out. And they would shake it and then stop, but it would keep shaking. I'm like, how do you do that? It was like an earthquake, and then you're like, it's over. Like, no, aftershock, right there. And then they did a thing where they interlocked legs and flipped each other. Looked like a pro wrestling reversal maneuver. I was like, that's how Ricky the Dragon Steamboat beat Ric Flair in the 80s. And I was just like entranced. I was like, what is happening? And then out of the corner of my eye, I see my girlfriend watching me, watching this. And I'm like, it's art. Art is happening. That's all. This is the same way I would be if I was at the Louvre in Paris looking at the Mona Lisa. Just. That's why I like the term artist. It's so vague, you know? You could mean Pablo Picasso, Megan Thee Stallion, or me right now. They call this art, and we know it's not. We know it's not. It's just a job that exists so you guys have something to watch while you eat dinner, you know? We just call this art because we don't have another word for this level of unemployment. You know? It's like, it's art. I don't know, he pays his rent. We're not sure how. I'm glad I was able to make it in. Is anyone here because they tried to come on Thursday and I wasn't here? I'm sorry. I very much apologize. I was supposed to be here on Thursday, but I had a connection in Minneapolis that I didn't make. And then, so I walked up to Delta and I was like, hey, I missed the connection. Wasn't my fault. The other plane was missing a piece or something. And it was just one of those things, like we were sitting on the runway in Salt Lake City and I was like, you know, it just doesn't go. But I fly so much, I don't pay attention. I'm just in my headphones. And I'm like, well, we should be going, right? And then we land, and I look at my connection. I'm like, oh, they started boarding 10 minutes before our wheels hit the ground. This is going to be snug, you know? And I get off the plane, and I already felt it in my heart. I'm like, we're not going to make it. And what really let me know we weren't going to make it was watching all the people run, trying to catch a flight to Cleveland. I'm like, that's never worked out. Because that's not real life. Real life isn't Home Alone, where a family of 12 just runs through the O'Hare airport and then throws 100 tickets at a ticket agent and just makes the plane. I'm like, that's never happened once. So I watched them run, and I'm like, I don't run at the airport. That's a rule I have, because I see too many people do it, and I make fun of them in my head, and I'm not going to be that person for someone else. So I'll walk quickly, but I don't even trot. I'm like, you know, I swing my arms extra, but my legs are going the same speed. But the family was huffing it, and they said they were going to the Cleveland flight. I'm like, well, they'll hold it for me. And then I got there, and there was like a family of 4, and I'm like, we didn't even make it, did we? He goes, no. And I was like, all right. So I go to the ticket thing to get some help. And they're like, well, there's another flight at 6, and we'll get you into Cleveland at like 11. And I'm like, well, my show starts at 7. And she goes, oh, it doesn't matter. There wasn't any room for you on that flight anyway. And I'm like, okay. So even the next flight wouldn't have even got me here in time. And they're like, don't worry, we had no room for you. And I'm like, I'm a gold medallion member. And she almost laughed. Like, for the last 3 years, I've only flown with one airline because I want to sit up in the front, you know? So I made it up to gold medallion status. I love to tell people that. It's the biggest, I never went to college. It's the biggest accomplishment of my entire life that I'm a gold medallion member of Delta. And I told her that, and she just went, okay. There's a flight tomorrow morning for you. And I was like, all right. So, I'm sorry I missed it. I tried, but send your hate mail to Delta. Very much made an attempt, man. Yeah, it was weird just being stuck at the airport yesterday. It was fun. There was a little bit of justice. There was a mean dad that got his comeuppance, which was nice. You ever see someone who's like a dick in public, but you don't say anything to him, but then later something happens where he gets it, and you all just kind of go, nice. And he's one of these dads who's like, we were waiting to board, and he's just yelling at his daughter. He's like, put the damn jacket on! That's all I heard. And I'm like, good God. And I'm like, how old is his daughter? It's just a young girl. Just a little girl. She's like putting her jacket on. She's crying. And he's like justifying why he yells. He's like, it's cold, and she doesn't know. She just needs to put the damn jacket on. And I look, and he's wearing one of those shirts with no sleeves. But like, it's one of those shirts, it didn't come that way. You know what I mean? Like, he bought it, and he's like, man, I gotta show off these arms, you know? And he doesn't have arms to be showing off. His arms look like a melting ice cream cone. Like, it came to a tapered end, and it was just melting, and there's like a mole with a hair, and he's just flapping these arms out for everyone to see. Just put your damn jacket on. And the little girl's crying. His wife is like obviously scared of him too, and everyone's just watching. Like, this guy's a dick, you know? Just one of the, he was like a guy from a sitcom that you wouldn't even believe the characters written, and he's just one of those, you know? Just way extra. You're like, that guy doesn't exist, but he does. He was at the airport yesterday. So anyway, we get on the flight, and then we landed in Minneapolis, and everyone was trying to make connections, not just me. So the flight attendant's like, hey, if you're not trying to make a connection, if you live in Minneapolis, why don't you keep sitting down so everyone can hoof it through the airport so they can't make it to Cleveland. And as we were all getting up, I hear the guy, he's like 3 rows behind me, he's like, hey, damn it, we have a flight to catch. And someone just turned around and said, so do all of us. And he just kind of went, and then I saw his daughter's face, and she was like, nice. And I was like, that's a little bit of success right there. That's a win for the family right there. It was good seeing an abusive dad. You know, we're running out of them. Everyone's like good parents now. It's good to see a throwback every now and then. And you're like, oh yeah, that's why we have therapy now. All right. This is Hilarities Comedy Club. It's also called Pickwick and Frolic. I think I'm saying that right. But I perform at the Hilarities part of it. It's the most beautiful club I perform at. They treat you so good. They gave me a baseball bat yesterday. I think for selling out a show or maybe just working their club. I don't know if it's a trophy. It's a trophy. I don't know what it signifies. But they gave me an engraved bat with my name on it and like a Hungarian quote on the back. They treat you like $1 million. And I'm still getting used to that. I'm used to like the comedy clubs that used to charge me for cheese sticks. And over here they're like, how about free steak and a baseball bat and a nice hotel and money? And you're like, what is this profession? Just a regular guy. I love this club. This club is so beautiful. You know, it's gorgeous. It's like a comedy club and like 2 bars and then like a restaurant. And it's like no one knows how to go to the bathroom because it's like a maze. I've been here all weekend. So the waitress has to guide me to the restroom area. I'm like, where is it? I don't know nothing. It's beautiful and classy, but it also has like a feeling like it might be run by the mob. We don't know. Is the mob still around in Cleveland? I think they're running this club. It's very nice. So I had to wait, but now I got in. It's beautiful. I like it. It's freezing out there. It's perfect. perfect. I walk down that little alley, I already chattering already. 'Cause I live in San Diego. I'm not built for this. We shut down the city right now. It was that chilly. They'd be like, good Lord, get inside, burn everything you have. Your space heaters will not cut it. This is horrible. That's what we're built for out there. Because we eat fish tacos. And it's not enough to pack in, you know? Everyone here has warmth just on them. You know what I mean? I'm not calling you fat. I'm saying you look healthy, all right? I'm saying if we were thrown outside naked, one of us would make it longer than the other, and it wouldn't be me, because I'm full of grilled fish tacos, and there's not enough husk on them, you know? Gotta eat some red meat, yeah. Like Alec was talking about heart attacks up here, everyone got quiet. I'm like, not in the Midwest, man. This is where it happens, all right? These people suck down sausages like it's going out of style. Easy with the cardiac arrest, all right?
The hardest part of living in a van is only dating girls that are into astrology. Because that's the only type that is accepting of my lifestyle. And what I've noticed about these girls is they're like the most open-minded people, but they'll be racist against your birth month. You know? Like, ooh, you're an Aquarius? That's not good, because Mercury is about to go into retrograde. So things are gonna get pretty bad for you. I'm like, lady, I live in a van. How much worse is it gonna get?
At those little cop stickers on the side. You can see right there.
Oh, this used to be a cop van?
No, that's like people that are trying to show they support the police, so they can get out of tickets. You know, I didn't put them on, but I didn't take them off.
You should also put them on the other side.
Yeah, because that's where they actually do come over.
Yeah, that's where they come in, and then you don't roll down the window for a while.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Oh, let me just get the lock. And then you like point at the thing. This is the first thing I found in his van. He's got it right down here. So this is how you're staying fit out on the road, just doing 80s ab workouts.
Yeah.
In the middle of your van.
Yeah.
Imagine like a cop busting in and you're just doing this shit.
I have just enough space.
Wow. I'm genuinely impressed. This is like, I feel like this is like meeting like an Instagram celebrity. Because like everybody has like their built out vans and I've never seen one in person like this. I still think you should have taken my offer to crash at the hotel room, but this is very nice. Because they gave me a hotel room with 2 beds. They're like, we don't have any kings, and I'm like, that's actually perfect because it's freezing outside, and I'll ask if Alec wants to stay in. And then I told you, and you were like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, it's freezing outside. You're like, yeah, I got the van, and it's very comfortable. I love this. But at the same time, you should have crashed at the hotel.
This right here is the water, so you just kind of pull this pump.
Wow. Oh, so you pump it out.
Get some running water.
That's cool. So you don't have to have it like an electric pump on it.
No.
That's
no.
smart.
If I had to do it again, I might have done that, because you can't really wash your hands really well if you're pumping with one.
Hey, you don't need to wash your hands these days. What does your girlfriend think of this thing?
She doesn't like it.
So my friend Dane, Dane, by the way, if you're watching this van, you got to step your game up. I mean, look at what he's got going on in here. But I did that other vanning video, and his girlfriend is not a fan of the van either, and then neither is yours. Is anyone's girlfriend's fans of their like? Because this one's really nice.
Yeah,
I guess it could be nicer.
There's the YouTube couples that do it, but
yeah.
they have the career of an NFL running back, you know.
Yeah.
A couple years it's going great, and then they break up.
A couple years? Like, dude, I give them 3 months.
Yep.
They're not, unless they're lying in those videos, they park that van and then go live in a giant house where they're on different wings. There's no way you can have a long-lasting relationship in this. And if you do, you should check to see if you're related, because something's going on. Do you think this is gonna bring people in for the Easter show? Because it's like, well, we're going to comedy, but this guy kind of looks like Fat Jesus. We'll go see him. And I got to meet this dude, Robert Kelly. I grew up a big fan of like Tough Crowd. So getting to meet him, he's doing the late shows, I'm doing the early shows. And getting to meet him, I was just like, oh, you know, one of my comedy heroes. And we went to lunch yesterday. We went to Dim Sum. There's a big table of us. And I don't know, I was like nervous, you know, because he has that East Coast vibe where he just busts your balls all the time. But he's a sweetheart, but he like busts your balls. He doesn't, you know, there's no room for breathing. And I was telling a story about getting kicked out of the green room at the Laugh Factory in Vegas with Rich Voss, someone that's a friend of his. So I'm like, oh, he might be interested in this story. And then I was telling the story, and towards the end, he just goes, wow, your story really fell apart there, didn't it? But like in that quick East Coast, you know, kind of way. And I just went, yes, sir. Yes, it fell apart horribly. Can you pass that egg roll? And it was fun, though. It was a great, it was like the closest I'll ever be to like being on Tough Crowd, you know? Hey, thanks for watching my vlog from Cleveland. I hope you enjoyed the jokes and the travel information. Make sure you follow the guys that opened for me, Ray Roberts and Alec Parent. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you want to see if I'm coming to a town near you, because things are opening up again, go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and scroll down to the bottom. You can sign up for my mailing list, and I will email you about where I'm going. And if I don't know where you live, which I don't, because why the hell would I? Leave in the comments where you want me to come, and I'll try to make it happen. Also, if you would like to support, you can join my channel. It's like Patreon. There's 3 different tiers, $1.99, $4.99, and $9.99 a month. Each one come with different perks, so if you'd like to support that way, don't let me stop you. In fact, let me encourage you to do so. And other than that, this is already a minute long. This is way too long. I'm not going to edit it down. Thanks for your support.